Hello, everyone. This is Kirk Stevens, and welcome to my Campfire Tales. Today, campers, we are re engaging our continuation of Into the Void. This is our custom Stalker Loper light run. We're currently in Broken Railroad, and we are trying to get our affairs in order here so that we can make our trip into the Forsaken Airfield. Now, for those of you that have been watching this, I have not been to the Forsaken Airfield. And as you can see, I can't even access the map. So this goes to show you, never been there. I've watched several people play, so I have a bit of a spoiler as far as what it looks like. But having actually been there, I have not. So, with that said, we need to definitely lighten the load here, decide what we are and aren't taking, and don't know if we're going to leave just yet. It's a little late in the day, but let's take our heavy, overburdened self downstairs, and we will definitely have things to make when we get back for sure. We got all kinds of saplings. Probably be able to make a wolf coat if we need to. Good lord, we're not even carrying the rifle. Okay, so let's thin out here. What are we so overburdened with here? And nothing crazy there. Oh, we got every tool known that we can carry, so ton of torches. We'll harvest a few of these torches. How are our tools here? Not bad. Let's just, you know what? We'll just leave that behind. I'd kind of like to make some fire hardened arrows at some point and use the bow that we found to hunt the rabbits and ptarmigans if we decide to go that route. Tons of food for sure. Let's drop that because it's already expired and we haven't reached cooking level 5 yet, so we'll leave that here. What else we got that we can do away with? Let's leave the potatoes behind. We'll leave the carrots behind. We're not making any stews or anything. We already cooked some pies and stuff, and we'll take that with us. Clothing. We can drop that. Might not hurt to repair those. They may have gotten a little torn up with the wolf fight. We don't have too much there. And we don't even have that much coal. It's really all tied up in all these tools and flares and this nonsense that we're taking with us. And we still need to pick up the rifle because I wanted to take the rifle with us. Yeah, we'll put down some flares and that's right, I got overzealous. Now we're leaving ammunition and this rifle alone. We don't want to take that with us. Let's drop at least one flare. Drop one of those. Let's drop the paint. And how about the 2 of those? I guess we could get rid of a few accelerants. We don't have that much stuff, do we? Oh, we have some, we have some more food items we don't necessarily need to take. We can drop that. This is kind of heavy sometimes. And I'm sure we're going to run into some of this stuff when we get over there. It's still a tidbit heavy. And it's all in the tools. It really comes down to all this stuff. Because as soon as I pick up that rifle, we're going to add a whole lot of stuff. I want to make sure we have the flashlight. Do we even have the flare gun? I don't think we have that yet. I'm going to drop that for now. I'm sure we'll find one over there. I think I've seen somebody find that. Good Lord, so much stuff. You know what? We've got a knife. We don't even need that. That helps. Collection of can openers. That helps a little bit. Alright, so we don't forget that. Let's make sure we grab it. And I'm going to say while it's still early enough, can we repair some of these things? That way we're all ready to go in the morning. Okay, so those are in better shape. Everything looks pretty good for the most part. We can do some more repairs down the road. I'm curious to see how the weather plays out with some of this stuff. Oh, you know what? We can drop that. It's an item we don't really need. And then the other thing too I didn't think about is how much water do we have? Oh, see, now that's another one. It's 7 liters of water. Let's leave behind a couple liters here, and that will lighten our load probably significantly. That was the one thing I didn't look at because it wasn't up on the top. We'll drink some of that here in a sec. A ton of coffee. Let's drop half of this. Wow. Let's get the wind quieted down. How's our lantern? Where's the lantern? Are we full? Yep, we're full. Okay. We have a lot of ammo to shoot at wolves, which may come in really handy when you're running around in the dark with the Aurora wolves and stuff. They're not afraid of anything. Okay. So it's still a little early. Parka. You know what? Let's just do a little quilting with all these different materials. Let's do some more repairs here. Just trying to kind of, just at this point, we're killing a little bit of time. Want to get to where we get a good night's sleep, and we're as good as we can get. And we head into the airfield in good shape. And we might not even make it to the airfield. I realize this is from what I've seen, it's a pretty long hike. So we'll get as far as we can.
I need anything right about now.
And it's starting to get dark. Let's walk upstairs while we don't have to turn the light on. Find us a bed. Okay. What else can we repair? What else can we fix? Oh, this might be a good one. Oh, we don't have enough cloth. Is there? Oh, perfect. Let's just use the curtains. Imagine how ragtag you'd look. Especially if you ran into somebody's curtains that were pretty flamboyant. Okay, so we were going to fix this before it got too late, hopefully. There we go. Good deal. We're not perfect, but we're in pretty good shape. We could reheat those and use it for extra warmth along with the tea. So let's not eat that just yet. Let's eat this wonderful can of dog food. That's always fun to eat. And what else do we got? That's not on the roundabout there. So that we don't want, and then that will be good for tomorrow while we're carrying all the stuff. And you know what? We'll just eat a couple of these. We just need enough to get through the night. Okay. Anything we can craft that I haven't already crafted. So, no, and no. Okay. So it's a little early. I'm just going to pass some time here. Let's pass one more hour. Rehydrate. Now, do we have enough calories to sleep? Right at 10 hours. Perfect. And of course, we're fully rested and it's still early. And we're just going to pass some time real quick here. All right, we do not want to lose well fed.
I could eat a horse.
And
That's saying a lot because I love horses.
Eat a box of crackers. And lost the bed. And just barely daylight. Let's do one more hour. Let's sleep for now. There we go. All right. Minus a blizzard, we are going.
I'd eat anything right about now.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. Tell you what. Let's eat this box of crackers. We got a whole bunch of stuff on the floor we can make when we get back. So let's take a drink of water. This is help lightening our load. I'll tell you what, I'm going to take one more accelerant just to be safe.
take it.
We'll take the rifle around. We're going to need to do some hunting. And it's breezy, but not miserable. And we definitely want to get this out because we made that mistake last time. They're flying overhead. And those are still over by the carcasses. And now the long dark becomes the long walk. And I guess from what I understand, and again, I haven't been over here, I haven't done anything with the radio, I haven't done any of that stuff, but through some of the stuff I've read and watched, apparently the whole thing behind this is that you're gonna have to make multiple trips. Wow. That was from the hip. That was pretty damn impressive. Even for me. You're pretty brave. You're really brave. All right. He was very aggressive. Almost more aggressive than I thought. Look at this. I mean, he's very aggressive. I must smell pretty good. Something's going on. They're very, very interested in me. I mean, because they're coming right up on me. Let's see if I can't just walk him a little bit. I fired off like 7 rounds. I'm glad I killed that one with the first round. Didn't waste any more. Oh, good. He got excited by something else. Yay. Good for you. Yeah, I don't necessarily want to walk in Zach's shoes. I watched the one episode where he had to kill off at least looked like a dozen wolves. And he's playing on Interloper where he's got the bow and arrow, so, you know. I have the advantage of having firearms, and I don't even want to go through that. Wolves are being very aggressive. Very aggressive. I noticed that one time before that they didn't seem to run off when you shot at them. You know, if you didn't hit them. So unfortunately, I have a feeling I'm going to go through a lot more of these pistol rounds than I'd like, but I just want to get to the airfield, man. I just want to get to the airfield. They just won't leave me alone. Well, I don't know how long we're going to be gone. I would assume a few days. I mean, it's probably going to take several days to get there. But if the carcasses are still around, we could add them to our collection of the ones we have, and maybe we'll make a wolf coat. Maybe that... I remember reading somewhere that it has the possibility of, like, scaring them off a bit. Maybe that'll work. Who knows? The nice thing is it's fairly early in the day. We're warm, so doing all those repairs obviously has... Well, I shouldn't say obviously, but it's helped, I hope. We're not cold. That's good. Again, we got the advantage over the interloper players because we have all the nice clothing. That's the thing about this particular run. I don't have enough confidence in my interloper skills to make this trip without the firearms. My bow skills are extremely limited. I've been messing around with interloper a little more since last year, but I'm still not super confident with it. Alright, I'm going to put that away because I have a tendency to shoot the ground.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Oh. I'm talking picnic later. Energy bar. All kinds of food. Thank you. Oop, wrong direction. Okay. I didn't want to just start arbitrarily picking up sticks.
I need to find food.
Well, luckily for you, Astrid, we found all kinds of goodies. Let's have an energy bar. Let's give you the energy you need to walk this long way. All right, here we go. Into the new region. The far range branch line. I've been playtesting a different scenario. I've got another series running called well, I shouldn't say series. I've got a couple of videos out that I did with the beachcombing idea and in plain sight, and I've been test bedding a variation of that to make it a little harder, not so strong. The in plain sight seems to be a little strong, but I've been test bedding that, and I've been lucky because I haven't been over here. I haven't been spawning over here, but that might change now with this run. So might have the unfortunate what's going on here? Sorry, lost train of thought. Might have the unfortunate deal to spawn over here, which I really
This
don't
stuff will come in handy.
want to spawn over here for a beachcombing experience. It's hard enough when you launch into some of the areas in the main map to try to get to a beachcombing area. Nah, ain't nothing exciting to see. I was about to say that I don't know if any of you watching this have ever played Fallout. Fallout 3, Fallout 4, games that I've played quite a bit. I enjoy those. There's both of those games you deal with subways, and that little section there where the railroad's blocked off. It just kind of reminds me of Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, where you get cut off from the subways. And we don't need those. Boy, how creepy would it be to have an office over here? And this old... Oh, look at this.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Industrial flashlight equipped with larger, more efficient battery. Hey, I'm going to take that. And if that one's better than the other one... Oh, look at this. Another lantern. We'll leave that here.
I think I can use this.
Little peaches. We will save those when we get to the airfield. Maybe we'll find some more cooking stuff. And we can make some peach-related foods. Oh, yeah, we definitely want those. We're using those a lot with the wolves. This is so cool. I'm gonna... Here, I didn't want to waste too much lantern fuel, but... Seeing how it is that I haven't been here before, I want to take a peek. You know what? I'm going to take these and move them by this. That way if we come back through here and for some reason we're in dire need of gloves and a lantern, we've got something we can get at real easy. But okay, I'll turn that off. Yeah, it's one thing to watch somebody play this and see some of the stuff, because, you know, not everybody looks at stuff the same way that you might do when you play. You know, it's like when you watch people do this, you'll notice that a lot of us will miss stuff because our attention isn't looking at a particular item. In fact, let's turn this back on. Oops. It would be nice if you lit that, Astrid. I'm sorry, got a little excited there. As I was saying, it's interesting how, you know, you can watch somebody and they will miss something. When you blatantly see it, it's like, you know, right in the middle of the room almost, and you see it. And they'll miss it. So it's just, it's funny how you can miss a lot of stuff without realizing it. Okay, so there's a pry bar. What's our pry bar? We've got an 89% pry bar. What are you?
Use this.
100%. We're going to trade you out. We're going to upgrade. We'll leave you behind. Turn this off. Wasting our precious lamp oil. Okay. Now, I do believe If you go that other way, you end up down there. I wonder if it'd be worth going down there or staying up here is better. Oh, okay, I see. You kind of need to be down there. Okay, so we'll go back. Let's go check and see if there's anything in this train car. So I see the rope climb deal. So I'd assume if you come this way, you got a rope climb down. Which we're heavy as it is anyway. Carrying all these flashlights. Oh, yeah, there's a rope and another pry bar. Can we get in here? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
I'm going to leave that. Ooh. A Go energy drink. We might need that. Alright, we don't need the ski jacket, but we'll put that there. My best friend right now is stuff like that. Food and drinks, but we're not cold. So I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to deploy this rope. And although we may not have any need for it, it'll be here should we need it. Might not need it, but we'll have it deployed nonetheless. Just in case. And you wonder if maybe that might lead off to somewhere sometime in the future. I know everybody shows that little transfer area and all the places, but it'd be kind of cool if Hinterland surprised us and said, nope, let's branch off here. Do something different. You never know where you're gonna have a connection. Or maybe they could add a little small map, a little special bonus. Okay. We're so slow and heavy. Yeah, I don't want to eat my crackers. Those are good traveling food. There we go. Let's drink the soda. It's one of those ones that's flat and the can is sucked in on the sides. Okay, so it's going to get progressively dark in here. Let's do this trick here so we don't have that glow effect in front of us. Hello, bridge. All right. Climb up. There's not a lot of places where there's running water. I mean, you got the waterfalls, and then I know like Black Rock and a few other spots have like the running river. I know like I went through Keeper's Pass on the north end, and there's a spot where you climb down a rope and you can get close to the river. It's a shame that it doesn't allow you to, dip your can or your pot and take water. out of the flowing. I mean, same deal. You'd have to purify it, boil it, or whatever, but it might save you time. But you could always drink it and risk it. You know, like almost like eating bear meat and that the parasite risk or whatever. When you boil the water, the you know, like melt the snow, you get the dysentery, I think. Because I know there's a lot of guys, and you play some of these restrictive variations, and that the ability to get water like that would help let that be part of the gameplay. So that way, if you didn't have matches, you could have access to water, and you know, that would be part of the risk. It's like, are you going to get sick from it? Now, I don't know which way is which or what have you. I know there was another area that was more lit up, and it looks like this just kind of swings around. Okay. Lots of little... Oh, that's leading back into that way. Where's this leading into? That's leading up. Let's go back this way here. Bolster you away. So you didn't need to bring all that accelerant. More coal. So that led to that. Okay. How much coal do we have? I don't want to get into this thing of picking up 10,000 things. We're already heavy. I'm going to grab 2 more. We're not cold. We're not freezing to death. Okay. I like that you can hear the water drops in the cave. That would be a more natural sound. Wow. Okay, that's where we just were. Oh, come on. Lift your feet. There's a little bit of a map error there. Which happens. Oh, we need some light again. It's actually amazing that it doesn't happen more often. It just goes to show the level of dedication that these coders go through to play test and find those little areas where the maps don't line up, and they are able to fix them and stuff. I know several years ago, and this is going to age me here, so I am an older player. I'm in my 50s. But when Valve released Half-Life, the original Half-Life, and you had access to their game code, and that's when a lot of the mods came out. So a lot of people that play Counter-Strike and Day of Defeat and all that stuff, if you didn't know this, those were mods to Half-Life. And you didn't have to pay for them. You downloaded them. So things like Team Fortress and all that were just mods, and you downloaded them and people coded them and stuff. And during that time frame, you used to play competitively with Day of Defeat was at the time. That's when, like, for us, there were what we call clans, and the clans were a group of friends or people you knew from online, and you would have competitive matches with one another. I know Counter-Strike was big with that. In fact, that's what I got started with. And then Day of Defeat kind of had its little run, not quite as popular as Counter-Strike, but you would have competitive matches where you would play 5-on-5, 6-on-6, whatever, number you want to say. And during that time frame,
I'm gonna need to eat soon.
oh, I'm starving, bastard. I was telling a story. During that time period, I actually kind of got into mapping with Valve's mapping software for their game engine called Hammer. And there was myself and one other person involved with our clan, and that you know what? I forgot all about those. I was going to eat these things to help with the weight, and they're getting nasty, and we need to eat some of these. So let's hope we don't get sick, but let's eat these things up. How are we doing food-wise now? Better. Good. So, got to messing with that, where we were trying to make some of our own maps for different Counter-Strike and Day of Defeat things, and kind of learned about, how this all works. And, when you have things like this where the landscape bleeds through the rocks and stuff, and how much you got to spend time looking at all that stuff, like that, what I showed back there, where you have what's called a map bleed, or an open area where your two textures don't match up. And it was a great learning experience. And now, see, this is what I'm talking about, the flowing water. You had a means to get down there. And in fact, this game reminds me of that. The textures in this game are very reminiscent of some of the early Half-Life stuff. All right, Annie Oakley. See, once again, very aggressive. Shot at him, then shot him, and he still attacked. The wolves are being very aggressive. Very aggressive. So what did we drop? Did we drop anything? Let's get this back out. I saw him kind of running this way. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. I've been burning through every flare I had if I was over here Interloper. And a bow. Anyway, let's get in here and I'll reload the gun. And speaking of burning flares, I'll be excited to find some pistol cartridges when we get over there. As many as I've been burning through. Alright. Let us continue. Oops. Get a drink here. Oh, speaking of the devil. You're taking a drink and you're over here. Could you imagine if you had to, if you took this game to the degree where you had to use the restroom? Imagine if you were in a compromised position and the wolf come up to check out what you were doing. That would be a very interesting predicament. How bad is it going to be when we add the cougar? Well, that was exciting. Here I thought this is just going to be a long, boring walk. We got attacked by a wolf. We'll probably have to repair something. So anyway, kind of back to the story of that time period. By no means am I any kind of great coder or modder or anything like that. It was just interesting to be able to use the software to create the maps, and they were crude. They weren't nearly anywhere near the detail this was, but it was a neat experience to play with it and see how, you know, mistakes are made. You can see where things get missed, or, you know, you have map holes and stuff, and it was very educational from that point of view. Oh, we got so much quieter in here. It's interesting. Now, I don't have a light source on. It's getting dark when I can't, but notice I have a little bit of an aura carrying light into the darkness. It's not up there quite so much, not back there, but around me I have a bit of an aura. That's interesting. So let's turn on some light. Again, I'm gonna do this little trick. This is much easier on the eyes. But I do remember those times. It was a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of really nice people, and playing competitively like that is very very unique, because it's nothing like fighting against AI, you know, competitors. Trying to be crafty against another human being is hard, because they're unpredictable, and some of the times we would deploy techniques in our matches that would surprise other teams when we talked to them after the fact, and vice versa. We'd run into a defensive deal, because Day of Defeat was kind of a flag capture deal. You had multiple points along a map that you would take control of, and you'd have to defend. And when you're playing a limited number of people, like a 6-on-6 or 8-on-8 type deal, a lot of times there's only so many people you can leave behind to defend an area. So you had to have, people with different skill sets to, stay behind, and you could only have so many classes. There were different classes, like, rifle and sniper and machine gun and all that stuff, and you had restrictions, like you had only one sniper and one machine gunner, and and what have you and stuff. Ooh, that was interesting. I hit the rail just right, and it popped back into my hand. Oh, we're loading screen. That's why that did that. Fascinating. I think that's why I'm drawn to this game so much, is that it's not so much you fighting other, AI or even other people. It's really kind of a you against the elements thing. The wildlife is a little bit of AI driven kind of thing, but a lot of it is just you're dealing with the cold, you're dealing with the elements. You can't really out level the game. In a lot of games you can level yourself to ridiculous levels where it's no longer a challenge. I mean, and the other thing about it is that even with Interloper being a pretty difficult setting, and not, I mean, I forget what the percentage is. It's a very small percentage of people play Interloper, and then you have the players that even make that more difficult with restrictions and things like that. But I think that's the beauty thing of this game, and it reminds me a lot of the Half-Life thing, is not necessarily modding it, but you can tweak the way you play to make it both either fun or difficult, or you can handcuff yourself, so to speak. I'm a really big fan of the Dead World challenge because of the difficulties. It really forces you to move around a lot. It really forces you to be careful and not push too hard. You can pay a hefty price to be aggressive. A lot of oak trees here. So I love the flexibility in this, that there's no wrong way to play. Everybody has a different take on it. Been watching this guy, Zach, had suggested by the name of Sprocket Games, and his game style is way different than other people have watched. So it's always interesting to watch other people's game styles. He mentioned something about not being able to play Dead World because his game style was too sloppy, and I can see what he's saying, because, you know, it's a different mindset. It really is. You know, whereas when you play Interloper, the mindset is to find the hammer, get the hacksaw, go to the forge. In Stalker, you're given so many other tools. Your main thing is avoid the wolves, because the wolves are so thick everywhere, and you're fighting off a lot of predators. But you have the tools to fight them up with the pistol and the rifle, and you can build a bow and all that stuff. And the Voyager players have a lot of decisions to make about how much stuff they want to carry, because you have a plethora of loot to pick and everything, and they still have to fight off the wildlife and that. So at every level, it offers a certain amount of challenge. You know, we might do some hunting here and stock up on some food before we leave, because I see we're coming up to the transfer rail station. I do recognize this from other people playing. And we're also kind of coming up on the 1 hour mark here. So what I think we might do is we'll get into here. We'll do a little bit of searching, but I don't hear any wolves. I don't see any wolves. I see a couple of deer over there. It's a little windy at the moment, but if we got some nice weather, and that maybe hunting and harvesting and doing some cooking, kind of set this up with some food and some water. And then that way, if things, like I said, things go horribly wrong and we're trying to get out, we can set ourselves up with some supplies. You know, we get here, we'll have some matches, we'll leave a torch behind. We'll leave some food, and we are a little light on food. And then if we can take food with us. So we'll think on that. I mean, food is pretty plentiful in this because
This will come in handy.
the settings I got this on. Like I said, it's set on Stalker as the base, and I pretty much just turned Interloper Wildlife and Interloper Weather on. So I'll grab those just yet.
I'll take it.
Oh, okay. I was like, is that a moose hide satchel? I'm gonna get all excited about that. All right, so here's our matches. We're just gonna, this will be our, we're just gonna leave those here. And you know what? We'll just take these painkillers and we'll put those right there. We're gonna just think that we're having a really bad day on our way back, and by gosh, we're gonna need this bottle of water. We're gonna need painkillers and matches because we've had a really bad day. We'll leave the book there. That'll help with fire. We'll leave the newsprint there. That'll give us tinder if we need it, or some more matches. In fact, I'm gonna put all this together. Our food is expired. I'll leave that little thing there too. Unburdened. I should eat these while they're... Not that I need to continue the unburdened portion of this, but they're starting to become uneditable. Oh, another suitcase. I was like, what is this red thing over here? And is this the bathroom? It is the bathroom. Do we have water here? We do. All right, we're going to leave that water there too. So we've got, I think this is like, is that a half?
I could use this.
Okay, so we got about a liter of water. That's not bad. We got a book. We can break down the chair maybe. All right, I think that'll be good. We can leave that behind. I'll tell you what, just to lighten the load a little bit, I'm assuming that this flashlight is better than the other flashlight, because this is like industrial, blah, blah, blah. So I think we can leave this one behind. So I'm going to drop this flashlight, and we're going to leave it here. And if for some reason we've destroyed the other one, and we're being chased by Aurora wolves, and we can make it to the safe house, we'll have a flashlight to fight our way out of here. So let's drop the bedroll, and let's drop the pots and pans. And you know what? Let's do this too. We picked up several of these. Speaking of Aurora wolves. I'll leave some flares behind. Future Kirk is going to have a little bit to fall back on. Okay. We're not quite light, are we? We don't want to drop too many tools. Let's just drink that. That'll work. I just wanted to go exploring for a few minutes here. It's like I said, we're coming up right on an hour. And I know this strictly because I've seen other people come to this. You gotta get up over there. Okay. That this little, I think it's a coal chute for the trains, maybe, or a loading. Yeah, it's loading. Okay, yeah, it's some kind of loader for the trains, whether it's coal or more matches. That's it, Astrid. You're carrying too much. The book of matches is going to cause you to sprain an ankle. Yeah, look at this. More flares. Another flare. There's coal there. So you can bonk your head. Now on Interloper, there's usually not a lot here from the people that I have watched, but with this loot setup, there are a few items. Don't need any spray paint. At least I don't think I do. And anything over here? Is this?
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
It is a 3/4 megatorch. Not quite a full Monty. Not a full megatorch. And if you haven't heard that term before, that one is coined by a friend of the channel, Mr. D.H. Dunn. And if you have not watched Mr. D.H. Dunn play The Long Dark, then you are missing out. And you should go check out not just the YouTube channel, but you should check him out on Twitch. He is quite a character, and enjoy watching him. And he is linked on the front end of my page as friend of the channel, and you should go check out his videos as well. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to create a save point here.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Pick this up, and then we'll deploy it. And it is getting close to night, so maybe we ought to just kind of get this all figured out. Oh, and there is a fireplace here. Does it have cooking spots? It kind of does, doesn't it? So let's do this. Let's drop that. Let's drop 3 of these. No, drop 4. Because you know what? I saw some more up there we can grab. We'll leave that there. Okay. And that's it. We'll just, ooh, a little bit of a stutter there. Sorry about that. And we're fed and everything. We're just going to sleep for an hour. Create a save point. And we'll call it. And then we'll do some more on the next one. We'll, I don't know if we're going to hunt or not. We found quite a bit of little tidbits of food. But, I don't know yet. I'll have to think on that. But here we are. Some of the details. 22 days. This is by far going to be the longest run that I've played. I'm not one of the people that play the 1,000 days or whatever. At least I've never done it. I always end up either dying or I don't find enough to do to keep me busy. So I'm hoping I'll be able to keep a run, at least this run going and that. But at any rate, we're going to call it. I thank you for watching. Appreciate the support and the comments. And we will catch you on the next episode next week of Into the Void. Thanks again for watching.